Good afternoon, everyone. Vicar Jesse here from Bethel Lutheran Church, here with a daily message of encouragement that comes from Scripture. This week in our walk through the Bible, we're looking at the story of Abraham. Yesterday, we talked about how God had given Abraham 3 big promises. Those promises seemed a little too good to be true, but Abraham quickly learned that God was able to fulfill his promises. We have a God of promises, a God who keeps his promises. Today, I want to look at a different aspect of Abraham's life. We're going to look at Genesis 12, starting at the 4th verse. So Abraham went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. And Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people that they had acquired in Haran. And they set out to go to the land of Canaan. When they came to the land of Canaan, Abraham passed through the land to a place at Shechem, to the oak of Moriah. At that time, the Canaanites were in the land. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built there an altar to the Lord, who had appeared to him. From there he moved to the hill country on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west, and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. Abram journeyed on, still going toward Negeb. Abraham was called by God to travel to a new land. He travels there, and when he arrives, God once again gives him the promise that that land will be his. He builds an altar. He then moves on to Bethel, and he builds another altar, and we're told he calls upon the name of the Lord. An important part of Abram's life was worship. He took the time when he got to the promised land to build an altar and worship God. And then once again in Bethel, he calls upon God's name in worship. We have a God of promises, and we should take the time to thank him for those promises, to call upon his name, to worship him, to give him the glory he deserves, the honor and respect. Worship today is a different thing. We worship in smaller groups, to maintain spacing so that we can have safe worship services. We worship online. That's a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing. It's much easier for us to not go. People won't notice we're there, and maybe we just don't want to get up on a Sunday morning. But worship remains an important aspect of our life. Worship is something that God calls us to. It's where he delivers his word to us, and we're able to thank him for his grace and his providence. I know it's different and weird now in a post-COVID world, but worship still is as important as it was for Abram. I encourage you to make sure you're online, or make sure you're here. Make sure you're taking that time to worship God. It's how he builds faith and how he hears our prayers. Hopefully you found some encouragement in these words, some reassurance. If there's anything we can do for you at Bethel Lutheran Church, please feel free to reach out to us via email at office@blcdelmar.com. Or if there's anything I can do for you, you can reach out to me directly via email at wilson@blcdelmar.com. Hey, and if you want to sign up for worship, you can give us a call. Our phone number is 518-439-4328. As always, God bless you. Have a wonderful day.